Hello, this is Jeff from Studio 41 Gaming, and we are finally back with another Smite video, and this time we're talking about Freya. So let's get to the god builder we got here, and see first we're starting off with our boots, shoes of focus, pretty standard stuff here, and then we're going into Hastened Fatalis, give us some penetration, attack speed, movement speed, and of course the great passive it has so that you can just keep basic attacking and running after people, which for Freya and other really basic attack focused gods, that's obviously nice. Next we got Demonic Grip, which gives us some magic power and attack speed. And then our basic attacks reduce the target's magical protection by 12% for 3 seconds. Basically think of it as the magic version of Executioner. Next we got Shamans Ring, which gives magical power and a bunch more attack speed. And of course it's very nice passive that each basic attack that hits an enemy god heals you for 2% of your maximum health and mana per hit. So you get mana and health back, so Shaman's Ring is really nice. And then next we got Spear of Desolation, the almighty Spear of Desolation. Bunch of magical power and penetration, some cooldown reduction, and whenever you receive a kill or an assist, all of your cooldowns are reduced by 1 second, yeah. And then last, we have Pythagorem's Piece. I know it seems like kind of a weird item to have last, but you're essentially done by the time you've got Spear of Desolation. You're already freaking nuking most enemies, but Pythagorem's Piece just is the, I guess, the cherry on top if you want, because everything else is here. Why not? But it just gives a magical aura to your allies. But then our relics are amulet and beads. And they finally did fix it so that if you buy the upgrades for these, it's 500 apiece. But I just go with the normal ones. Most builds are expensive enough already. Then, real quick for the god builder, we got Freya's passive, which just gives her additional lifesteal. So it makes her a better dueler, basically. And then her first ability is Irradiate, which just makes her basic attacks do more damage. Then we got Pulse, which makes her basic attacks ranged and gives a slowing and area of effect whenever they hit, but those go away when you have Irradiate active, so you can't be completely OP. Then we've got Banish. I'm sorry, everyone's run into this at some point in time, where they get pulled up in the air randomly. And then her ult, where she can fly around and you just hit 4 times with a ranged attack. And for the god builder, we've got basically Pulse, focus early. Get it as early as you can. Throw in some Irradiates. Just basically get Banish because you're not using Banish. It's really, all it does is lower the cost and cooldown. You're basically going Pulse and Irradiate as often as you can, and obviously get your ult whenever. Pretty basic stuff. So let's move on to some gameplay. So Freya, from a gameplay standpoint, is actually really straightforward. You're basically just going to be popping Pulse and Irradiate anytime you want to damage anything. Yes, she has a little bit of power behind her melee basic attacks whenever you pop her Irradiate, but it's very minimal. It does not do much at all. So do not rely on those for anything, except for a desperation kill on an enemy that's just everything is on cooldown, so that's the only time you should ever basic attack with her sword. And melee, I mean. But she is pretty easy to play. The only difficult thing is that her escape sucks. Her escape is going to be the relics you choose, because outside of banishing an enemy that's chasing her, and even then that target can be pretty hard to hit sometimes, you're going to die if you're starting to get dogpiled. The only way you're escaping is by popping Sanctuary, or Aegis Amulet as they call it now, or using your ult and just escaping with that. So that's the only thing you're going to be able to do. But middle to late game, Freya with this build becomes a monster. You're not going to be able to do too much early. It's a bit of a work in progress. build in terms of you're not doing much early, but once you get Shaman's Ring and Demonic Grip, good God, you are going to lay enemies out. But in terms of early, you're not going to be doing too much. If you can get kills, obviously, that if you get fed, holy hell, God help the enemy team. Because once you get Shaman's Ring, yeah, that's what it's called. I keep thinking it's something different. But Spear of Desolation, Shaman's Ring, you're going to be flattening basically anything you're going up against. Dueling Freya when she's at max power with this build is going to be a bad time. Just because she's got so much lifesteal and with so much penetration, it hits hard. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Freya's not that hard to play. Just be careful, don't dive too deep because you're probably not going to be able to get back out unless you can fight off everything around you or you have your Aegis Amulet or your ult so you can escape, because you're going to be having a bad time with escapability with Freya. Just how she is. She cannot run away. Oh yeah, and don't banish enemies that your teammates are about to kill, because that will piss people off. But thanks for watching.